Hello students, welcome to the new session of class 9 and this session 2020 and 21. I am going to teach you computer application for class 9. In class 9, in computer application, you have to learn Java. In the previous classes, you have learned some languages like QBasic, HTML, C++, but in Java, in this class 9, you are going to learn all about the Java. Some part of Java will be taught in class 9 and some part in class 10 according to the syllabus of ICSE. But whenever you will say someone that I'm learning Java, then first of all anyone will ask you a question that actually what is Java? So let us know actually Java is a programming language. Like other programming languages that you have already learned, I mentioned you HTML, C++, QBasic and so on. So Java is also a programming language. But whenever you will say that Java is a programming language, so first of all, that person will ask you, what is language? What is programming? This question will be asked. So first of all, let us know what is language. Actually, language is a set of rules and regulations. Language is set of rules and regulations using by which we can develop a software, we can develop an application. Set of rules and regulations means, suppose you are speaking English or you are speaking Hindi. In English, you have some predefined format. You have some rules for using English. You have some rules for using Hindi. Suppose you say in English that this is a book. This is the proper order for writing a syntax, for writing a sentence. This is a book. You never say a book is this. Yeah, a book. This is book. You never say, because it has been already given the rule in grammar, English grammar, that first of all subject comes, then verb and then the object. Similarly, in Hindi grammar, it has been defined that first karta, karm, and then so on. So Hindi and English teacher will give you the detailed knowledge that how the sentences are customized. All these rules and regulations of these languages, Hindi or English, have been defined in the corresponding grammar book. In the in the same way, whenever we are going to learn any programming language, language means while developing a software, while developing an application, you have to follow some rules and regulations, and this language is set of rules and regulations. After that, you are going to ask a question that what is a program? Actually, a program is set of instructions and commands given to the computer. Whenever you develop a software, you give instructions to the computer. And those instructions are given in the form of some syntaxes, some commands. These instructions and commands, customization of instructions and commands is called a program. Like in C++ or HTML, you have already given some instructions, some syntaxes like cout, hello world, or cin for input, taking input in a variable. Similarly, in Java, we will also learn that how the instructions are given to the computer. Actually, there are two types of persons that work on a computer. First, the person who follows the instructions of computer. Suppose if you are using a paintbrush. In paintbrush, to draw something, you have some fixed options that you use pencil, brush tool, like that. If you have to fill color, then you use paint bucket tool like this. You can't fill the color by using any other tool. You can't draw any diagram by using any other tool except the options given in Paintbrush. If you are using Word, then you have to type something, because Word is a text editor. And after typing something, after writing a paragraph or after writing your story or anything else, you have to save the file. To save the file, you have the fixed option that first of all you have to go in File menu. Then you have to click the option Save. A dialog box will appear in which you have to give the file name, and then you press the Save button, and in this order you save the file. You don't have any other option to save the file. So you are following the instructions of computer. You can't go beyond it. But in programming, while making a program, you are giving instructions to the computer. It means computer will operate as per the instructions given by you. So first type of user that work according to the computer, that follows the instructions of computer, is called a user. And the person who gives instructions to the computer is called a programmer. So the definition of programmer is a person who writes a program is called a programmer. And next comes programming. What is programming? The procedure used to write a program. The procedure used to write a program. The method used to write a program is called programming. So in this way, you can know what is the difference between program, programmer, and programming. Now, the next is compiler. Actually, what happens when you are writing a program? When you are writing a program, you are giving instructions to the computer. Now, who will check that you are giving the proper instruction? Who will check that you are giving the correct instruction? This instruction will be checked by the compiler. This is the compiler who checks the error written by the programmer. So actually, compiler is also a type of software. Compiler is also a type of software. It is an application, but basically it is called a translator, because a compiler translates. It is a translator. It translates, it converts the source code into the machine code. Compiler actually translates the source code into the machine code. What is source code? Whenever you write a program, that program is called the source code. And this source code is converted into machine code. Why it happens? Actually, whenever you write up any program, even whenever you write the source code written by you is not understood by the compiler computer. Computer is unable to understand your source code. This is the work of compiler, that it converts this source code into the computer understandable code. This computer understandable code is called machine code. You can know in this simple way. Now, the next comes interpreter. What is an interpreter? Actually, an interpreter is also a type of translator that converts the source code into machine code. Both have the same thing. Compiler and interpreter both have the same work. But actually, what is the difference? Whenever you compile a program, the source code is converted into machine code at once. The complete source code will be converted into the machine code at once. एक ही बार में convert होगा. But in interpreter, the source code is converted into machine code line by line. First line will be converted, then second line will be converted, and if the interpreter gets any error in the third line, the translation will stop. After rectifying the error in the third line, the interpreter will go in the next line. This is the function of interpreter. So now you can easily differentiate between compiler and interpreter. Now, next comes what the programming language Java has. Actually, Java has both compiler and interpreter. Java contains both things, both the software, both the application, compiler and interpreter. Because a Java program, I will define by after this discussion that first of all Java compiles a file and then it also interprets that file. So now let us know actually what is the name of compiler. As the compiler of C++ is TC, in the same way the name of compiler of Java is JavaC. JavaC is the name of compiler of Java. And I told you that JavaC is a software, along with compiler it is a software, it is an application. So there must be a location in your computer where this file resists. The location of this JavaC is C:/ means in local drive C you have a folder program files, and inside that program files first of all you have to go in C drive. I'm just changing the color. First of all you have to go in C drive, then you in local drive C you will find the program file. So double click this program file. Inside this program file you will find JDK. Sometimes it is also stored inside Java folder. So you can also use like this C:/ program files mouse is not working. So let us know as it is that C:/ C drive program files Java, then JDK and then bin. Sometimes it is also stored directly into JDK. Inside JDK you have a folder bin, and in that bin folder you have this JavaC file. Now next comes the interpreter of Java. You knew that what is the name of compiler? That is JavaC. The interpreter of Java is JVM. It is also called Java Virtual Machine. I will discuss it later. The interpreter of Java is JVM. And the file extension, whenever you save a file, it has some file extension. Like the file extension of Paintbrush is .bmp. The file extension of Notepad is .txt. The file extension of Word is .doc. In the same way, the file extension of Java program is .java. Okay, so I have already defined source file. The file in which we write a program is called the source file. In this way, you can understand that what is the name of compiler of Java and what is the name of interpreter of Java. The compiler is JavaC and the interpreter is JVM. But also remember that the file extension of Java source file is .java, which is also called Java file. Clear? Now, next comes what is the Java compilation process. After writing the Java program, how do we compile? And what happens behind its compilation? Which processes are followed behind the compilation? So let us know one by one. First of all, you have to write a Java program that is called Java source file. Suppose the file name is A, the file name is A, and you have to give the file extension .java, so the file name will be a.java. When this Java source file is compiled using JavaC, it is converted into a different type of code, totally different type of code. Whatever you write in the source code, that is totally converted into different type of code. That different type of code is called bytecode. What is the specialty of this bytecode? Actually, this bytecode is platform independent. Platform independent means operating system independent. Operating system independent means it is unknown for each and every operating system. This bytecode, suppose you are writing the program in C++. Whatever you write in C++, that is only understood by Windows. Whatever you write in C++, that will be only understandable by Windows, not by other operating system like Unix or Linux or Mac operating system. So this is operating system dependent code. But when Java source code is compiled, it is converted into bytecode. This bytecode will be same for everyone. It is unable to understand by any operating system. That's why it is called platform independent or operating system independent code. And this bytecode is stored in a different file. That file has the extension class and its name will be a.class. Its name will be a.class. This is the class file and this is Java file, which is the source code. Clear? Now, this byte-coded file, this byte-coded class file is run. Run means executed. This class file is executed. This class file is run using Java. Like Java C is a file, Java is also a file. Java is also a software which is used to run this class file, this byte-coded file. After execution, after run, this bytecode is converted into native code. How is this converted into native code? By using the interpreter JVM. This Java is present inside JVM, and JVM is the interpreter which interprets the bytecode, which interprets the class file. It interprets the bytecode and converts this bytecode into native code. This native code is the operating system understandable code. It means now you can get the output. What happens in the complete process? The Java source code was first converted into operating system independent code, platform independent code. Further, this platform independent code bytecode is converted into native code, means operating system understandable code. That is also called a native code. It means the interpreter does not interpret the Java source file. This interpreter does not interpret the Java source file. Does not interpret it. It interprets only this class file. Okay. It means if you compile your source code on Windows, you will get a separate class file, this a.class. Now delete this source file. Only class file will remain in your computer. Now you have to run this class file, you will get the output. It means native code is totally, interpreter JVM is totally independent, does not have any relation with the source code. It does not have any impact on the source code. Once Java file is compiled, once Java source code is compiled, it can be run anywhere on any platform by using the class file. This is the complete compilation process. Now let us see this complete process. When Java source file is compiled, when this Java source file is compiled using Java C, then the compiler converts the source code into machine code, yani operating system independent code, and is stored in a separate file. This separate file is what type of file? That is class file. Further, this byte coded class file is run using Java and is interpreted by Java interpreter JVM, and is also converted into native code. This native code is called machine code. And this JVM has also one function, that it creates an environment for the output. Okay. Now the next is bytecode. What is bytecode? I already told you that it is the platform independent code. Operating system, platform means operating system, like Windows, Unix, Linux, all these are called the operating system platform. It is the platform independent code in which Java compiler converts the Java source code. Means Java source code is converted into bytecode. The next is native code. It is the machine code. Machine code means the code which is understandable by the operating system platform. It is the machine code in which JVM converts the bytecode generated by the compiler. Means first you compile the Java source code, you get the bytecode. This bytecode is converted into native code by JVM. Now next comes, what is JVM? Actually, JVM is an interpreter that interprets the Java class file. I told you earlier that JVM interprets only class file, Java class file, not the source code. Always remember it. JVM is not associated with Java source code, and it converts into native code, means machine code, and creates an environment for the output. So this is all about the process of compilation in Java. Now let's come Java, first program in Java. How the first program in Java is written? Actually, first Java program starts with class. Class is a predefined word. Class is a predefined word. You cannot write anything else instead of this class. Class is a predefined word. It should be written as it is in a small. Next is CL. CL is the name of class. You can give anything else instead of CL. A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever you want, you can give instead of CL. It's a chance that I am writing here CL, I am giving the class name CL. Now next comes curly bracket. This is called opening curly bracket of a class. It will act like a boundary. Suppose any house, you are talking about your house. How can you say that my house is consist in this area by using the boundary of your house? You say that within this boundary, this is our place, this is our house, this is our plot, this is our land. So this curly bracket ensures that this is the starting boundary of class. After that, as in case of C++ or any other programming language, there must be a main method in the program. So this is the main method, public static void main. Public static void main string AR, this is the main method. It should be written as it is in each and every program of Java. There should be no change. Everything will be capital. Everything will be in small. Public small, static small, void small, main small, string. In a string, S is in capital. S is in capital, remember. S must be written in capital of a string. String AR, and opening and closing this square bracket. Clear? So this is the main method. What is the function of main method? Actually, whenever Java program is executed, compiler first of all calls this main method. Compiler first of all looks for the main method. So if you don't have a main method in your program, the compiler will give you the error that main method is missing. Main method is not present in the program. So it's compulsory that each and every Java program must have a main method, and after main method you have to give the opening boundary of main method by using opening curly bracket. Now suppose you have to print Madonna English School on the output screen. So to print anything on the output screen, you used cout in C++. In the same way, here you will write system.out.println. In Java, you will use system.out.println to print anything on the output screen. In system.out.println, everything will remain in a small letter except S of system. S of system will be in capital letter. System.out.println is the method using by which we can print anything on the output screen. And whatever we have to print, that should be written within these small brackets. Inside it, suppose we have to print Madonna English School, so Madonna English School should be written within these double quotes. This is called double quote, not inverted comma. As in English you say inverted comma, here it will be called double quotes. And whatever we write within double quotes will be printed as it is on the output screen. Clear? So this is the way to print anything on the output screen. And after that, after completion of this, the curly bracket will be closed. Main method, starting curly bracket, main method, starting curly bracket and closing curly bracket. Opening curly bracket and closing bracket is compulsory. After that you have to close the class. This is the closing curly bracket of the class. Always remember, all these things must be given. A starting curly bracket of class, closing curly bracket of class. This is one combination. Opening curly bracket of main, closing curly bracket of main. This is another combination. This combination should be maintained while writing the program. Okay? So this is all about the first program in Java. Now let us define one by one. What is class CL? It is used to create a class, and each Java program starts with class. It's compulsory. And I told you that class is a keyword. It should be written as it is, and after class you have to give the name. This name can be anything. This CL can, instead of CL, you can write anything else that you want. After this, public static void main, I told you that it is the main method. It is the main method that is also called function. Main method is also called function, which is first called by the compiler at the time of execution of program. And if main method is not present, then the program will not execute and will give you the error. Okay, now the next is double inverted comma. This is also called double quotes. In Java, you will always say it double quotes. It is pronounced as double quotes. Double quotes. Here is double quote. And whatever written within double quotes is printed on the output screen as it is. Whatever we write within double quote, like here is Madonna English School, you will get the output as it is. Madonna English School will be simply written. Now after that, after Madonna English School, at last you have written here this semicolon. We don't read it as semicolon, we read it terminator. This is called terminator. Like in English, whenever a sentence is completed, how can you say that the sentence has been completed? Because you have used dot, full stop after the completion of sentence. So you can say that full stop is the terminator of sentence. In the same way, here semicolon has been used, and this semicolon is used to terminate the syntax. It means it shows that the system.out.println Madonna English School is one sentence, and this sentence has been completed. This syntax has been completed. Now nothing more is to be written with this syntax. So how can you say that? By using this terminator. So it is used to terminate the syntax. And next is curly bracket. Curly braces, these are boundaries of a class and main method. Curly braces are always used for the boundaries and defines the scope of class and method. What is the meaning of a scope? What is the meaning of a scope? Actually, when you write these two curly braces, opening and closing curly braces, it means whatever we write within these two braces whatever we write between these two braces will be the part of this main method, and whatever we write after this main method will not be the part of this main method. Clear? In the same way, any syntax written between these two opening and closing curly braces will be the part of this class CL, and syntax is written beyond this curly braces will not be the part of this class. So in this way, these things define the scope of class or main method. So this is all about the beginning of Java. I hope you will better and you will understand properly, but in the first time you will feel some difficulty. So at least 2 to 3 times you will watch this video, and after that write each and everything that I am mentioning in the video or whatever I am telling in the voice. You have to write each and everything in your notebook, and before going to the next video, at least read all these things 2 to 3 times. Then you will get proper concept. Thank you for this video, and hope that you will be ready before the next video.